Why 50 Cent hates his son. This is interesting because I have no idea. I did not know that was a thing. I'm not the biggest 50 Cent fan in the world, but I'm ready and willing to learn.
50 Cent and his son Marquise have had a very public beef for the past few years. He went as far as saying he wouldn't have a bad day if his own child got hit by a bus. 50 posted this bold comment under a photo of Marquise and Kyle McGriff. But when you learn who Kyle is, you might not be surprised about 50's reaction. Kyle McGriff is the son of the infamous kingpin Kenneth Supreme McGriff, who is currently serving a life sentence in federal prison for a long list of crimes. One of those being the attack on 50 Cent, which led him to being shot 9 times. So when 50 sees a photo of his son, with the son of the man that tried to take his life away, he felt no remorse. Posting up with McGriff in that photo was a huge sign of disrespect from Marquise. Still, most people saw 50's comment as disrespectful and unimaginable. 50 Cent and his son Marquise have had a very public beef for the past few years. He went as far as saying he wouldn't have a bad day if his own child got hit by a bus. 50 posted this bold comment under a photo of Marquise and Kyle McGriff.
50 Cent's Twitter used to be wild back in the day. I don't know if it still is, because, like I said, I'm not the biggest 50 Cent fan, and I have unfollowed him since, but in like 2010, his Twitter was wild.
Serving a life sentence in federal prison for a long list of crimes. One of those being the attack on 50 Cent, which led him to being shot 9 times. So when 50 sees a photo of his son, with the son of the man that tried to take his life away, he felt no remorse. Posting up with McGriff in that photo was a huge sign of disrespect from Marquise. Still, most people saw 50's comment as disrespectful and unimaginable, something they would never say to their own kid, no matter what. He took to Twitter to respond. I have zero ill will towards anyone living on this earth. The people Shaniqua's son looks up to and associates with is a reflection of the negative energy he embraces towards me. I paid his mother $1,360,000 in support to afford him opportunities I never had. Most people look at this and think, well, $1.3 million is plenty. I could make that work. However, his ex Shaniqua Tompkins sued him for $50 million, but not for child support, for allegedly burning down their house in May of 2000.
Whoa!
He tried to kill me and his own child, said Shaniqua Tompkins, who miraculously survived the suspicious 4 a.m. blaze, which leveled the $2.4 million mansion in Tony Dix Hills, where she lives with the rapper's 10-year-old son.
At least it wasn't in Tony Hill's Dix.
Threatened me on Monday that he was going to have.
Sorry, I'll keep listening on the serious subject.
May of 2008. He tried to kill me and his own child, said Shaniqua Tompkins, who miraculously survived the suspicious 4 a.m. blaze, which leveled the $2.4 million mansion in Tony Dix Hills, where she lives with the rapper's 10-year-old son Marquise and 4 relatives. She goes on to say that 50 threatened me on Monday that he was going to have someone visit me. Even the local fire chief, Larry Feld, knew something about the situation was weird when he said the fire was definitely suspicious because of the volume of the fire and how fast it spread. Now, this is an extreme accusation. It seems unlikely that 50 would burn his own house down just so his ex couldn't have it. Ultimately, the lawsuit never went to trial, and we got to hear 50's side of the story months later. The courts told her she had to leave, 50 said. It's kind of more like, if I can't have you, you can't have it. So you figure she lit it up? The interviewer asked. Well, I don't want to say that. Don't try to make me say something I don't want to say, 50 Cent replied. The circumstances to it might seem that way. 50 says his ex burned the house down. Shaniqua said that he did it. The mystery looms still to this day. But 5 years later, we would get a glimpse of how bad 50's temper actually is when a series of shocking text messages with his son were released. Hey, I'm outside the house at the front door. I came to the front door.
That first one was kind of scary.
You outside? You're front. I saw you looking out the window. Good luck in life. You're gonna need it. LOL, you front hard body now. How you going to see me when I'm in the basement? LMAO. Q. You are your mother's child. LOL, why would you lie about that? I need a blood test, cause that sucking bitch you call mom was f***ing the whole time. It's cool. I will never go out my way again. You disrespectful little motherfucker. LOL, you never do. I don't know not father that doesn't even call their son for his birthday, or get him a gift for his B-day or for Christmas. You are your mother's child. I don't have a son anymore. To no surprise, people were mortified at these messages, confused how a father could speak like that to his 16-year-old son. How did it get this bad? It seems like 50 went out of his way to go visit Marquise, and Marquise...
That's pretty crazy to say to a young kid regardless of anything.
And possibly an overreaction, but we never got any more details from him. However, Shaniqua went to the press a year later and said that 50 hasn't seen his teenage son in 2 years. 50 also didn't go to Marquise's high school graduation in May of 2014. Apparently, he wouldn't even call on his birthdays. This became a reoccurring theme, where Shaniqua would go to the press and publicly air out their relationship issues. 50 claims she is crazy, bitter, and entitled to money and fame just because they have a kid together. But the caveat to all of this is that 50 was contributing money to her and Marquise. A lot. $1.3 million in child support. An insane amount of money, which ended up being around $6,700 per month. But Marquise says it wasn't enough.
$6,700 a month. Okay. That's not, in my eye, it's not a lot of money. I've seen a lot of money. That's not a lot of money.
Now, New York City is the most expensive city in the world, so let's do some quick math. In New York City, a child is entitled to be supported by their parents until the age of 21.
No, stop it!
Split up in 2008,
They blow up. That's how I
August
kept dying. What the
2019.
fuck?
So 50
Okay, well, at least now I know.
have to pay support for 11 years. 50 said it was $1,360,000, so that would actually be $10,303 per month. But Marquise said it was just $6,700, which is a huge difference. Kind of weird, I don't understand the discrepancy, but let's just go with $6,700. The average cost of rent in New York City in 2009 was $2,400, and in 2019 was $3,200. Let's just call it $3,000 rent for a 2-bedroom apartment. For cost of living, we can go $300 for utilities, $150 for internet, $750 for car payment and insurance. You can also just ride the subway, that's $129 per month for an unlimited Metro card, $1,000 for food, I don't know, $700 for clothes. We just got up to $6,000, and as you can see, I overestimated on all these expenses, and $6,700 is still enough money. And that's not even including another potential $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 per month that Marquise's mother could be contributing.
Big if true.
I think we
Huge
can
if
all
true.
agree, $6,700
If it comes true, it's gotta be big. Get the fuck away from me! Chicken, fuck yes, let's go. Okay, I'm alive for now. For this second, I was. Oh my god, I dragged these motherfuckers into my puddles. My lethal blue puddles! Oh, didn't work.
Himself to be inherently deserving of privileges or special treatment.
Entitlement creates resentment. If Marquise asked for a pair of Jordans on Monday, his mother would make sure they were on his feet by Tuesday. It still didn't make him happy.
Fuck, no. No.
Being excited
No.
all Marquise could think about was all the retro Jordans he did.
Dang.
All the different flyaways and colors that weren't in his closet. When he should have felt gratification, all he really felt was disappointment.
50 wanted his son to work
It's
for his own money,
massive.
not
Did he
live
just
off of
nut?
his
It's
father.
possible.
My issue with Marquise wasn't that he wanted all those sneakers. When I was a kid, I wanted sneakers too. The difference is that I was willing, make that determined, to do the work necessary to obtain them. I
There's
wouldn't
this
for a
music
second
in the
want
background.
Marquise to have to resort to the type of work I put in to get my kicks. At the time, I perceived selling drugs as the only viable option in my environment, so I pursued it. Marquise has so many more options in front of him than I ever had. I just needed to see him pick one and put in the work.
The saddest part about this back and forth is that it seems to have done damage beyond repair for the two.
50, you love your son?
I used to.
You ask yourself how long, a complicated question would say, how long can you love something that don't love you back?
You can hear the pain and disappointment in 50's voice. Although Marquise is going viral for being ungrateful, it seems like what he truly wishes is to have a relationship with his father. Marquise wanted his dad to be there for him emotionally. He claims he doesn't care about the money. It doesn't make up for the missed birthdays, not going to graduation, never visiting. Of course 50 is super famous and extremely busy, but you can understand why the boy would feel the way he does. It just ruins his argument when he starts talking about money. Parents show love in different ways. Some fathers provide more financial support than emotional support. Some people think that mothers are supposed to be the emotional support for the child. All parents raise their kids differently. There's not one right way to do it. The most toxic part about this whole situation is that instead of talking to each other, they air out their differences on Instagram Live, radio interviews, and through TMZ. 50 is known for being petty, trolling, sarcasm. Marquise is the same way. They are making light of serious situations for the public to have a laugh, or for some Instagram likes. One thing we know for sure is that the only way this will ever get solved is if 50 and Marquise finally decide to sit down and talk everything out, privately, off of social media.
I think they should come on my podcast and really figure out their family. Just kidding. They shouldn't. I don't know the guy. That was kind of depressing. But it was informative. I didn't even know that 50 Cent was alive. Just kidding. I vaguely knew. If you're watching this as a YouTube video later, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, helps me out a lot, I always appreciate it, dude. If you want to watch something else, here's some other videos I've made recently around my head. I got another channel, youtube.com/Lonnie, that you should check out. I've been putting stream highlights there. Peace out, dude.